Hi everybody, welcome to The Well-Educated Artist. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today, so you may be noticing a lot of paint laying here on my canvas. We're going to be working with a 12 by 20 canvas, so a very long canvas if you can see it under all of this. And I have some basic colors. It doesn't really matter which shades of blue and green and gold that you have for this particular project, but here's some of the ones that I'm using. We have Arteza's titanium white, but any titanium white will do. There is Viridian, which is one of my favorite colors. This one's a Master's Touch color. Then we have Turquoise blue from Liquitex. And we have Prussian blue from Arteza. I love this Prussian blue here. And then several shades of blue being Ultramarine and Phthalo cyanine blue. So if you want to use whatever color blue that you have, you can. Then we have two of our iridescent colors. We have Pebeo's blue black, iridescent, and these are both high viscosity. And then the rich iridescent gold from Pebeo. So those are the colors that we're going to be using. I will list them down in the description below. To just show you what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add directly to my canvas, and you don't have to do that. I'm just making a background for the work that I'm going to be doing as a bloom. So I'm just going to put my colors down. I'll add more if I need it, but I can just put them on my canvas and this will work just fine. So I'm just going to start blending my background here, starting with my white up at the top and blending down. Okay, so here is my background, and it is still slightly wet, and I'm okay with that. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I've been kind of experimenting with putting a clear base and doing my bloom on a clear base. And what that clear base is made out of is Liquitex pouring medium, a lot of American Floetrol, which by the way will cloud it a little bit. So if you want a little bit of haze, add more of the American Floetrol. And also I have just some water in it to thin it out. And you don't have to cover the whole thing if you don't want to. I'm gonna probably just concentrate mine more to right in here where I'm going to put my design. Okay, so let me show you my colors. I'm working with a little bit different palette for me. These are all more muted because I'm kind of going for maybe sea colors here. I'm kind of playing with what this is going to do because I've done some experimenting with it before and kind of got a wave effect with it. So I'm going to try to do that with these colors. And if you can see them here, they're mostly blue-green. We have turquoise that I've mixed in another video on how to mix my colors, which I do have a video on that out. These are made with Behr 8300 Jo Sonja Varnish. And we've got some of the ColourArte colors such as Arabian Sea. And we also have, I think the only other ColourArte color we have is this one, Blue Bayou. And we have two of the Bling It line. We have Indigo and Abalone Shell. The other colors are from various places. This one is some of the Arteza that I used on the painting. It is Arteza and some gold and a little bit of violet. While this one is a whole nother brand entirely, and it is a just pearl white color. This one is from Meyspring, and this one is Anita's Sapphire Blue, I do believe. And this is more of the flip-flop that I've used in many of my paintings. So this is Aqua Flash from ColourArte. And I believe this is Christmas Green from DecoArt. And last but not least, there's some Kiwi. This one is also from ColourArte. I knew I was missing one of the ColourArte colors, and there it is. So there are quite a few colors that you see, but they are all more watery kinds of colors, or sea colors. At least that's what I'm going for. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay down, instead of a pillow, my pillow is going to be this clear base. So wish me luck with this, and hopefully it will work out. Let's put the pillow down. I'm going to try to go ahead and use my swiping tool to get this the way I want it to be. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole thing. I just decided, you know what, I'm not sure how this is going to pan out, so I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole thing. It should dry clear, so that's why I'm covering the whole thing. And you're like, oh, you've covered it with white. I haven't. It will dry clear. Okay. And it really doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm just going to move it back more. And there looks like there's some gunk. Pull that off. Okay, I don't think it needs to be that thick for this application. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to start putting down my colors. Okay, so here are my colors, and I'm debating whether I need any more, if I just want it to be sort of subtle, or how I want it. I also need to pick out something that I'm going to put my cell activator on. My cell activator today is the Well-Educated Artist version. If you want to know how to make that version, you can just use the Australian Floetrol if you have that, and your Amsterdam paint. This one is made with Amsterdam paint, but it's made with American Floetrol and a few other ingredients that you can get very easily at the hardware store. If you want to watch the video on how to make this particular one, you can see if you like what it does today, and you can watch that video if you like it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load my palette knife with my medium. I'm just going to smear that on with my fingers, and I'm going to start a swipe. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just lift it. So what I'm going to do now is just gently cause that to move forward. If you remember, this is pour medium, so it should flow. I'm just going to tilt it. I don't want to tilt it off though. I'm going to tilt it, but not tilt it off. Now I'm going to take my even smaller knife. Okay, so here is what I am seeing. You can see some of the shine and some of the bling from the blinged line. And I'm excited to see, look at that lacing. I'm very excited to see how this is going to turn out. Now remember, this is cloudy and it should dry clear. So when it's dry, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, it has now been less than 24 hours and you can see what we have. It does indeed look like waves. I've had a couple of splashes, as you can see here, with a little bit of highlight with some white, but in general, it turned out the way I expected. Now, this wave doesn't look quite wave-like. That's pretty extreme, but I actually really like it. I think it turned out great because it turned out the way I thought it would turn out. And so I'm happy with it. And maybe it does need something else in the background, but right now I really love the vibrancy and the detail of the waves. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for joining me today. Bye now.